So what I've always tried to do is bring in franchise business review early on, as early as possible, to get a benchmark of where we are with our franchisees.
Yeah.
And I get it. Sometimes, it's like, oh, we'll do that later. We'll do that later. We'll do that later. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes it's too late.
Right.
And so I'd rather do it early. So that helps us gauge our roadmap for the future. Mm-hmm. Winning an FBR award, for us and for the franchisee, I mean, really for me, it's the team, like my team. Mm-hmm. Hey, this hard work that we're doing is being recognized. And then for the franchisees, it's so, I mean, they're out there, they're working hard, they put a lot on the line. Mm-hmm. And for them to be recognized, I mean, it means everything to them. It's external gratification, which is nice to have sometimes. So the learning for me was just really getting into the data about, let's cut out some of the emotion. Mm-hmm. And let's really get to where these franchisees are. And the results were very strong, which was great. But I was able to take that information and go to the team that we're now building and say, hey, this is great. This is awesome. But this is built because they were working directly with the founders. So we have a job to do, is to maintain that same level of trust, but now it's going to be with us. That's our job. And we've taken that and created that as a key performance indicator, a goal for the year for our team. So when we do this again next year, it's, maintaining and if not trying to grow that satisfaction. So even if you're not a data person, mm-hmm. The insights into it are so easy to get. Then that can get filtered down to the support team. So if a franchisee did provide their name, that's helpful to know. Mm-hmm. And then on our initiatives that we took on for this year was largely driven from that survey. It helps with franchise sales. So when I'm in a discovery day, I pull up the FBR survey and I say, hey, look, like this is where we are today. Yeah. This is where we want to maintain. This is why we got this score. Here's what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Because it's recognizing that a franchisee coming in, my gosh, it's a mm-hmm. huge investment. Anybody is considering using this or they have used it. It's one thing to do the survey. It's the other thing to use the data. Mm-hmm. And that's really the value, is really using the data to affect the change.
Yeah.
And so if you just look at it, you're like, oh, we're not doing so great. And then you just leave it there. Mm-hmm. You're not getting your money's worth, I guess is a good way to put it. Franchisees can sometimes feel they have so much on the line, but there's somebody in this random office pushing down an initiative. And even the most well-intentioned initiative, if it doesn't have buy-in, it will either fail or have a much harder journey to market.
Right.
And so when we use a survey to say, hey, here's one of the many ways that we want you to be part of the process, people feel a little bit more like they're an investing partner mm-hmm. versus just some number in a franchise brand.